Okay, we're looking at Bitcoin, 42,430. And yesterday when we were on the show, I said to you guys that we had a strategy. And our strategy was to wait, to not jump into the market because we were looking for direction. Well, today there has been a change in strategy and I think it's safe to buy. I'm going to show you why I think it's safe to buy. I'm also going to show you what we're buying. I've got a brilliant, if I tell you an unbelievable portfolio for you guys today, it took me the whole day to put together, but it is the most amazing degen different portfolio with a whole lot of new coins for those people that have come in the market and think that they've missed opportunities on things like Are We Even Luna? Well, I've got a brilliant portfolio for you guys right here today. So it's going to be a massive show. We're also going to give away a lot of money today. Lots and lots and lots of money to the Banter family, to the Banter community. Massive show. Let's get the show on the road. It's going to be fucking amazing. Get up, bitches. Finish your coffee. We've got a massive, massive, massive show here today. I think it's going to be one of our best ever. So welcome back, welcome back. And if you're new to our community, welcome. You've come to the right place. I promise you have come to the right place. It's going to be amazing. This is going to be the biggest show. If you are new to the channel, if you want to be part of the family, subscribe. That's all you need to do. Subscribe, hit the bell button. When you do that, the bell button will tell you when we're going live. And now that the market is moving left and right and up and down, you want to know when we're going live because you don't want to miss anything. And especially you don't want to miss today's portfolio because today's portfolio is amazing. It is a massive, massive, massive day on the markets today. There is a lot of news. I don't know if we're going to get through all the news in the 50 minutes or the 1 hour that we've got. Then I've got to give away a whole lot of money. So I'm only going to give away the money when we get to 5,000 likes. No 5,000 likes, no money. I've got tokens to give you in Orion.money. I have got BitDart tokens to give to you. There was another giveaway that I had to give today. There's another one. Ask the investment managers what else I can give away. Oh, Ridotto. We've got Ridotto to give away to you guys as well today. But I don't know the details. Freddie, let's get the details. But also, again, free money for the Banter fam. What else can I give away? Oh, 10 NFTs. Each NFT will have vest $100 worth of Ridotto pre-IDO. That's a lot of cash. I'll give away a lot today. I'm going to give away a lot. Are we ready with the countries where we're going to host the meetups? Okay, so remember we said that if you do own a restaurant or a pub or even just a nice sofa and you want to invite people to a crypto Banter meetup, at your house on Banter Fridays. We're going to start Banter Friday meetups around the world, around the Banter show. If you want to get involved, meetups at Crypto Banter. Fred, this is the part where you put up the poster and it says if you want to host a meetup. There we go. So this is the part where you do that. Let's try that again. Okay, so if you want to host a meetup with us on Banter Fridays. No, Fred. One more time. Okay. So if you want to be part of the Banter community and you want to meet too quickly, that's way too quick. Okay, let's try. Okay, I'm going to switch the music off. We're just clearly distracting you. Let's try again. Okay. So if you want to host a Banter meetup and meet other Banter people around the world, anywhere around the world, and there are communities everywhere in the world, then why don't you host a Friday meetup? Tell us where your restaurant is or pub or event venue, or where you have a friend that has a restaurant or a pub or event venue, or where you just want to go to the restaurant or the pub or event venue, and you ask them to screen Banter Fridays on the big screens, and then you have a meetup. and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So what you do is you mail us meetups at cryptobanter.com. We're going to then publish a list. We have a list. Where's our list? All right, 1 minute. Apparently, we're going to have a list. We're going to publish the list, and we're going to keep publishing the list every day, and eventually we're going to put it onto our website. See, Michal from Poland, you should host a meetup because we don't have a meetup in Poland yet. We have some in Texas. We have some. Are they coming? Is this design coming? I'm going to just sit here until it comes. Okay, no, I don't have time to waste today. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. I did put some gel in my hair today, so that one lonely hair should stand up. I think it's standing up. Yeah. If it doesn't work, I'm going to put Viagra and I'm just going to rub it in to make it stand up properly. Okay, let's get serious about crypto. So remember, 5,000 likes, that's when we start the giveaways, not a second before. And today there's a lot of giveaways. I've got so many giveaways here, I actually don't know what to do. There's just so many giveaways that I have to give away to you, our community. If you're not subscribed, you ain't getting the giveaways. Anyway, I don't want to make this show like a BitBoy show where you just talk and talk and talk and don't actually get into crypto. So today we'll actually start the show right now and we'll talk about crypto. And what you will remember is that yesterday I said to you guys very clearly, I want to protect the Banter community. And for me, when I see a situation where there is more risk on the downside than there is return on the upside, then I don't take that trade. And I would rather sit on my hands and miss an opportunity and get into a trade when I think that the risk reward is actually worth it. And yesterday I said to you that because China wasn't open, because the Chinese market had been closed for a couple of days ever since this whole Evergrande fiasco, I said that I think that we should wait. We should wait to see what the markets do when China gets back. And that is exactly what happened today. The markets opened today. China opened. China opened after the couple-day-long autumn festival. And it looks like all world markets are back in the green. So if you can see here, all the world markets are basically positive. The second day of positive in the world markets. And in fact, the Dow Jones is actually surging. It's actually surging right now. If you look at it, it's actually flying, okay, flying like a kite, okay? So you can see, yes, it's flying like yeah, exactly. So you can see that the Dow Jones is flying. And even this morning in China, you can see that the indices weren't like that affected. I mean, the Chinese market was down about 1%, or it depends on which index you look at. But in general, China didn't panic. So what happened? I'll tell you exactly what happened. No, in fact, I'm not going to tell you what happened. CNBC will tell you what happened because they do a much better job at telling you what happened than I will do. So let's see what CNBC said.
We've got an update now on the Evergrande saga, the Chinese real estate company's main unit saying it negotiated a deal now with bondholders to settle interest payments on a domestic bond. That's helping calm some of the fear that of an imminent default that we were worried about and had markets on pins and needles. Let's get to Eunice Yoon in Beijing now with more on that story. Eunice.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, that onshore private property unit owes the equivalent of $36 million in interest payments for a local yuan bond due Thursday. But the company, Hengda, said in a statement that it was able to negotiate privately through this deal. So that has lifted sentiment within the market. Still unclear, though, as to whether or not or what this actually might mean for the dollar bond interest payments that are also due on Thursday, and what it could mean for a broader restructuring for the company. Now, as I said, that development did lift sentiment in the stock markets. Chinese markets were reopened after a 2-day break. The property plays rallied. Chinese banks, though, remained weak, especially those that have a lot of exposure to Evergrande. Evergrande still owes about $850 million in coupon payments this year. China's central bank injected the equivalent of $14 billion into the banking system. It left a benchmark key lending rate unchanged for September, but expectations have been growing, especially with all the problems in the property market, that we could see a rate cut as early as next month. And there are some signs of, I don't know if it would be trouble, maybe some confusion in the property sector. There were 8 Chinese cities that have told developers to stop offering steep discounts for new apartments because these developers have been having problems with their liquidity and want to raise cash. But now those statements are out there, so you could see that there's a bit of a conflict in the policies going on right now between the local government as well as the national government, and then the priorities of these developers. Andrew?
Eunice, just to put this in context, does this effectively mean the government is now a backstop across the board?
Yeah, well, what do you think? Of course it means the government is a backstop. So let's summarize that situation. The People's Bank of China steps in, and what do? They did what banks do. They put more money into circulation. In fact, if you want the accurate numbers, not the numbers that CNBC report, because the numbers that CNBC reported were wrong, actually it was $18.6 billion, which was injected into the Chinese economy this morning. At the same time, Evergrande seems to have negotiated not to pay some of its local debts or to spread out the payments, and that is for the local debts. They still have US dollar denominated debts, which is going to have to be settled tomorrow. For now, it seems that there is calm in the Chinese market. But if you ask me, what's going on here is that they've just put a Band-Aid on a massive, massive, massive wound. And I said to you guys yesterday that I think that the wound was caused by too much money printing. Too much money printing. People are drowning in money. And I'll explain to you what I mean. What I mean. In times where banks or governments want to stimulate economies, they do two things. They print money and they make it easier to get credit so that you will spend more money on things to boost the economy. So if you want to buy a house, if the bank reduces the interest rate, what do? You buy that house because your mortgage payments have become much cheaper, right? So that's what's happened in China. That's what caused this whole Evergrande thing. And let me show you why I say that this is a Band-Aid. Because even though, yes, we are managing this little situation, the problem is that if you look at Chinese debt, and I showed this to you guys on the earlier show, for those of you who were asleep, look at the China non-financial debt to GDP ratio as a percentage of GDP. And look at that compared to all the other countries in the world. The China debt to GDP ratio, their debt is about 1.6 or 1.7 times their GDP, which means that if you take the total GDP, the total production of the whole nation, the gross domestic production or the gross domestic product of the whole nation, the debt is 1.5 times that. If you look at other countries, Japan, it's just over 1. The USA is just under 1 or just around 1. Korea is, the gray line over here is just over 1. But China has got too much debt. And as you can see, the debt has been growing too quickly over a number of years. It was it was starting to come down. And then guess what happened? COVID happened and they needed to restart the economy. How do you restart the economy? Well, you just give people, drown them in money. Let them take more loans from the banks. And you can see again, this is a chart of the Chinese debt. But look at how the Chinese debt just keeps spiking and spiking and spiking. So if you ask me, what's happening over here is that there is calm back in the markets. We're back. It's calm. Markets are flying again or running again. Dow Jones is currently up 1%. The NASDAQ is up 0.64%. World markets are up about 1%. And this is all happening on the back of the fact that for now, right now, there is calm in the markets. So we had one tick. Because remember what I said to you guys yesterday? I said to you guys, I want to make sure that there's calm when China opens. And I'd rather miss a few opportunities than put money in. China opens, it's a shit show, a bloodbath, and then I wake up in the morning and I've been stopped out or all my positions are down. I'd rather lose one opportunity because there was too much uncertainty. But then overnight, something incredible happened. Like a whole lot of dominoes just went at the same time. And that changed my mind to say, okay, you know what? You can actually give the people of Crypto Banter, you can actually give them a portfolio. You know, I've been holding back on giving you guys a portfolio. I've been waiting for a dip. I've been waiting for good opportunities that you couldn't get in a long time. And actually now I think I'm ready to give you guys a nice long-term portfolio. So we'll talk about that. But why am I ready? Well, a few things have happened. One is there's calm on the Chinese markets. So for now, they're putting a Band-Aid on. I do think that long-term there are massive systematic issues, but that may be a reason to get into Bitcoin as opposed to get out of Bitcoin. And that's what we're going to talk about. The next thing that happened last night was, I'm sure you guys saw it, Bitcoin dipped. And when Bitcoin dipped, the fear and greed index dipped with it. So the fear and greed index went from 27 to 21. And so now we see that people are actually starting to be fearful in this market. And let us look at what happens when people are fearful in this market. As you can see, we're not at extreme fear, but we are getting to extreme fear. Generally, I have a rule that I don't usually buy unless the fear and greed index is under 20, because that shows me that I'm truly am buying when people are being fearful. 21, close enough for me. Also, I want to see what happens today when the fear and greed index actually gets updated. So that's the second thing that happened. The third thing that happened, the third indicator that said to me that it may actually be safe to start investing in this market, is I was watching the Bitcoin dominance last night. And I don't know if you guys watched this, but if you look at the Bitcoin dominance last night, when that fear and greed index when people started to panic and the Bitcoin price went down, I'll show you that in a second. So let's look at, you can't see that, but at 4 a.m., let's look at where the Bitcoin price was on the 1 hour chart at 4 a.m. It was around there. So somewhere over there. So you can see that as soon as the Bitcoin price started to come down, the Bitcoin dominance started to go up. And that showed me that people were starting to get scared. People were starting to get scared. And for me, when people start getting scared and I see the panic in the markets, that's when I usually start looking for opportunity. So that is the third thing that happened yesterday, which said to me that it may be a good time to start buying. So 1, China, calm. 2, fear and greed index goes down. Most people are fearful. 3, the Bitcoin dominance started to edge upwards, which showed me that people were really starting to get nervous. But they weren't really nervous. They weren't nervous enough like they would be in a prolonged bear market. The Bitcoin dominance didn't spike up to 50% or even 60%. It just went to 42.5, which just showed me that some people were starting. The main thing here is starting. This, yeah, Cami says it right. The prayer worked. We should do the prayer again. Let's do the prayer again. Let's do it. Ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, stop. If you are at home now, stand up. Okay. Stand up. If you're at home, just stand up. Okay, now you're standing up now. Ready? Stand up. Now, ready, go.
Go Bitcoin, go Bitcoin, go Bitcoin, go.
Look, it worked. We got a green candle.
Go.
We got a green candle, bro. We did it. We'll do it again before the end of the show, and then we'll see if we can get another green candle. But you guys have to join us for this prayer. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay, so calm in the China markets. Fear and greed index. People are getting fearful. Bitcoin dominance. People are putting more money into Bitcoin. Starting to get nervous. Starting is the key word here. Starting is the key word here. Okay, what else happened? What else happened yesterday? Let me show you. I discovered something that I've been looking for a long time. What happens every time there's a global crisis? What happens every time there's a global crisis? In fact, let's get Sheldino, because I know Sheldino has been looking at this. Sheldon, remember?
Yo.
We've got to do it together collectively. Remember what happened? I want you to show me two things. I want you to show me what happened in the COVID-19 virus to the stock markets, and I want you to show me what happened to Bitcoin.
Cool, buddy. Let's have a look here. So look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at stock markets.
I want you to show me how far did Bitcoin go down in percentages.
Cool. So if we have a look, yes, there we go. From there to bottom, 63% Bitcoin. Okay. From that,
went down 63%.
Went down 63%, and it took it 112 days to get back to the levels that it was. Now, if we go have a look, let's go look at Dow Jones. There we go. So we can see Dow Jones, if we look percentage-wise, Dow Jones fell 38%. Obviously, it's a lot bigger. The Dow Jones took 294 days. So it took 3 times longer.
Amazing.
3 times.
So this is what I wanted to show you guys. Now show me, where did Bitcoin go after? So Bitcoin dropped, went down 60. Did you say 60%?
63%, yes.
63%. And show me what happened to Bitcoin after the drop. How far did Bitcoin go from its previous all-time high to the current all-time high?
Sure. So we had the main one, which was obviously 2017. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Cool. So it went from the main one, it went another 220% above that.
So, okay. Now, show me what happened to the Dow.
Let's go have a look.
This is going to blow your fucking mind. So I'm not going to sweat. Otherwise, YouTube will just ban our videos. So Dow went
from all-time high, 16% to current value now, and the top was 20%.
Okay. So what can we summarize? We can summarize that Bitcoin goes down faster than world markets, correct?
Yep.
We can summarize that Bitcoin recovers quicker than world markets, correct?
Yes.
And we can summarize that Bitcoin, every time that there's a global crisis, Bitcoin recovers and hits an all-time high.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And the all-time high is not 16% above the previous all-time high. It is 200% above the all-time high, right?
There we go. And that's not even the highs that we broke then. Like from even the dip, that was obviously 500%. But from the 2017 high, yes, we did 220, 230%.
So what you're seeing here is that every time a global crisis happens, everybody panics. When they realize that there's calm, they ape into Bitcoin, which is why Bitcoin goes up quickly. And then what happens is they realize that Bitcoin is the solution, and that the crisis, that they have to trade out of what caused the crisis into the solution. And that's why Bitcoin goes up 200% above its all-time high. Now, that's actually not, I want to show you this. It wasn't only me. I've been looking for that data, but this guy, his name is Joe Orsini, CFA. I'm also a CFA, Joe, bro. You can't just say that. I'm a CFA also, bro. I'm going to change my thing to Crypto Man Run CFA. Okay, Joe Orsini. No, look, he said, okay, hold on. He says Joe Orsini. No, hold on. I'm changing my profile. Hold on a second. I'm going to change my profile. Go to my profile now. I'm going to go to edit profile, and I'm going to tune here Run CFA. Because he did it, I'm also going to do it.
Yeah, capital letters. Yes.
Okay, save it. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to Joe Orsini. He's a CFA. He's a CFA. Now, what we see here, he's quite smart. I mean, he's a CFA. You've got to be smart. Follow up on this afternoon's Twitter Spaces, 2 macro case studies. Bitcoin draws down, but it bounces much higher, much quicker. So if you look at in Q4 2018, concerns over China trading, okay, and what happened in the following 6 months, the S&P went down 20% and recovered 25%, okay? Bitcoin went down 41%, but recovered 182%.
Wow.
Okay, now you see that with every asset. So all like a whole lot of assets went down, but when they recovered, Bitcoin recovers the most. Let's look at the COVID-19, which is just what we spoke about. Bitcoin went down more than 33%, but then went up 632%. The S&P went down 33%, but went up 100% from the bottom. We're talking about bottoms here, right? So what do we conclude out of this? We conclude something that is absolutely, absolutely mind-blowing. The reason why Bitcoin was created is to trade out of all these, the traditional financial system and the stuff that is causing this whole mess. That is why Bitcoin was created. Every time there is a global crisis like this China crisis, Bitcoin dips. It dips more than regular markets. Yes, it does dip more than regular markets. But then when it recovers, not only does it recover quicker, not only does it recover higher, but generally it then smashes its previous all-time high by a multiple. That happens every time there's a crisis. And the psychology behind that is insane, because the psychology behind that is that people then review their portfolios and say, shit, what got us into this mess? It was the stock market, it was the US dollar, it was government debt and shit like that. And they then realize that they have to trade out of it. And they trade out of it into Bitcoin. And that's why Bitcoin keeps getting stronger.
Sure.
Now, take me to the chart. Now take me to the chart of the Dow Jones yesterday, day before, when this whole crash started.
Okay.
This is fucking mind-blowing. It blows my mind. This blows, it's mind-blowing.
Okay. So basically started, 2-3 days ago.
How much did the stock markets go down by? Top to bottom, Dow Jones.
Okay, from top to bottom, 5%, 5.6%.
Okay, how much have they recovered?
Okay, and if we look percentage-wise recovery, nearly 2%.
Take me to Bitcoin.
I think that's a very key thing to understand, that the ranges are bigger. But guys, what is the asset that absolutely... So Bitcoin, 18.8% down.
Recovered?
And it's already done 7, close to 8%.
There is the key.
We should be thanking the stocks for crashing, because this is where we get the unbelievable prices.
This is the key. So to summarize it, guys, every single time that there is a financial crisis, Bitcoin crashes much more than the stock markets. It's a much more volatile asset. Bitcoin recovers much quicker. And the recovery usually takes Bitcoin above its all-time highs. And the reason why that happens psychologically is because every time that there is a financial meltdown or a crash of sort, what happens then is the portfolio managers start to analyze what caused this crash. When they analyze what caused this current crash, they're going to realize, Bruno gets it. Bruno gets it. Bruno said Bitcoin gets stronger and stronger. They're going to realize that this is caused by printing of money. They don't need to be geniuses. They can just phone me. I'll give them the chart that I showed you guys. When they realize that, they're going to realize they need to exit the system. And right now in the world, there is only one way that I know to exit the system. There's two. One is gold and the other one is Bitcoin. If you want to own gold, that's great. I do own some gold, but it's in my back tooth over here. It's over here. That's where I say. I've got one little piece of gold. That's the only gold that I own at the moment. So Bitcoin recovers much quicker, and usually after a global crisis, it goes to an all-time high. And that is because portfolio managers, investment managers around the world, what they do is they start to evaluate how the hell they can get out of this, what caused the financial system. 2008 housing crisis, that's when Bitcoin was created. 2018 crisis, that's when Bitcoin shot the lights out. Here, let me show this to you. Again, minus 41%, much more than the S&P, double the S&P, but then recovers 182% where the S&P recovers 25%. This time, in COVID-19, minus 33% on the S&P, but then 100% recovery on the S&P, minus 33% on Bitcoin, but then a 633% recovery on Bitcoin. That's the thesis. That's why I said to you that now I'm ready to buy. Because when I did that and I saw that, we may not be at a bottom, there may be another leg down, there may even be another 2 legs down, but when I saw that, I said, okay, it's safe. I can give the Crypto Banter community a portfolio, and I'm going to show you how to do that portfolio just as soon as we can verify what we saw. So to verify what we saw, what I did was I looked at the on-chain analytics. And the on-chain analytics tell me exactly the same story. Look at the on-chain analytics. BTC, and this comes from a trend from Daniel Joe 916, says the trend continues. Older coins are not selling in this BTC dip and continue to age. Minor reserves are stable. Most of the selling is coming from liquidations of younger coins panicking. So basically, if you sold your Bitcoin, then you're the arsehole, because the strong hands, you're the idiot. The strong hands didn't sell anything. They just accumulated, whereas the weak hands, if it was you, sorry, you haven't been watching Crypto Banter for long enough and you don't listen. But look what happens. Look, this is the Bitcoin price going down. All these lines here are different ages of coins. The green line over here is coins 3 to 10 years old increasing, coins 2 to 3 years old increasing, coins 18 months to 2 years old increasing, coins 12 months to 18 months increasing. So every single coin is increasing, or long-term coins are increasing. Who's not increasing? Whales are increasing. Whales added 180,000 BTC in 2 months. Who's not increasing is the short-term holders. The short-term holders have completely screwed this whole thing up. because you can see that what happened was yesterday, the short-term holders dropped, which means that the people that believe in Bitcoin continue to accumulate. It's the short-term holders that just sold. So if you sold, then you need to really evaluate your life, and you need to say, look, am I doing the right thing in my life? Should I be allowed to touch the laptop? Should I be allowed to trade on Binance? Because you're not doing the right thing. You are panicking and you are panic selling. And the thing is, what I said to you earlier was that usually crypto dips and then it recovers very quickly, but crypto dipped. And if you look at the price, we haven't had the recovery yet. So when the Dow Jones recovers today and tomorrow, what's going to happen to crypto? Fred, what's going to happen to crypto tomorrow? If the Dow Jones drops, what happens to crypto? If the Dow Jones increases tomorrow, crypto is going to absolutely go parabolic, and you're not going to be part of the run, because you're a short-term holder, and a short-term holder, what you did was you sold. Asshole. I mean, who sells? Okay, and I did say to you guys, don't sell. I said to you guys, don't sell. So the on-chain fundamentals still fantastic. So good to sell, good to buy, ready to buy. So I've got the indicators on-chain telling me to buy. I've got the fundamentals telling me to buy. I've got the dominance telling me to buy. I've got the fear and greed index telling me to buy. I've got China calm telling me to buy. I'm buying. End of story. What am I buying? You're gonna have to stay tuned till the end, and I'll show you. Okay. What else did I want to show you guys? Oh, God. Do we have to ruin such a good moment? I mean, are we really? No, let's do the good news first. Good news first. Okay, some really good news. We've got 2 bits of bad news. Unbelievable news. No one's talking about this because we are the first show that comes live every day. So no one yet is awake. Everyone in America is still asleep. But we come to you now and we give you the news and the good news first. And what I want to show you, which is very, very, very good news, is that Robinhood is launching a cryptocurrency wallet as Bitcoin becomes a bigger part of Robinhood's business. So when wallets, Robinhood has now introduced or is introducing crypto wallets. It's not really a big deal. I mean, Robinhood only has 31 million users, only 31 million crypto users. Okay, huge fucking news. No one's talking about it. You know why they're not talking about it? Because they're not awake yet. But when they wake up, they will talk about it. But by that time, you would have heard it first on Banter. So that is also fantastic news. One thing I really liked about this article, which Fred didn't even notice, so this is also going to be a surprise to Fred. The move comes as cryptocurrency makes up an increasingly large part of Robinhood's currency. Fred, we should get Yoni from eToro and Vlad together on the show. That would be amazing. I want to show you something. Oh, you see, they're quite clever. They say, we're not the first to market because they know that PayPal is coming and interactive brokers are coming. But they do have something which is amazing. They said, Robinhood also said, a new feature that allows the setup of recurring crypto investments is live on the app. Clients can schedule crypto purchases commission-free for as low as $1. So you can do regular dollar cost averaging. Just program it into your app. That's amazing. So imagine 31, not a lot of people, just 31 million retail investors coming into crypto with one touch of a button using Robinhood. But no one's talking about this. You know why no one's talking about this? Because they're still asleep. So when they wake up, then they will talk about it. But by that time, you would have heard it first on Banter. Other good news. Oh, I saw some other really cool news. Dapper Labs. You know who Dapper Labs is? Dapper Labs are the people that created CryptoKitties, and then they created NBA Top Shots. They have now secured a deal with La Liga. La Liga is the Spanish football league, which is amazing. So, and that is to do the moments and the fan tokens for La Liga. Now, I don't know what happened to Flow blockchain. Let's look at what happened to Flow blockchain. That's the blockchain that Dapper Labs created. Dapper Labs created a special blockchain for NFTs. Barely moved. I don't like Flow. I don't like the blockchain. I don't think you should have a blockchain just for NFTs. So I do think it's good news, though, that they signed a deal with La Liga. Okay, other good news, which I did show you guys earlier, but for those who missed it, Polkadot, listen, this was an interview with Chico.
the viewers will not like if I do not ask this question. They will get mad at me if I do not ask this question. So when Polkadot Parachains?
I'm sorry, it's like I can't give you this like date. I'd love to, but what I can tell you is things are going well on the Kusama side for trying out Parachains. The audit, I'm not sure if it's complete yet, but if it's not, the complete is going to be completed in the next days, right? It's days, not weeks. We need to fix any of the issues that came from the audit. As far as I know, these are relatively small issues, nothing huge. And then after that, it's really just up to the governance of Polkadot. Polkadot's a meta protocol, exactly. Governable meta protocol. We have to get this through governance. I can't flick the switch myself, but what I'm able to do is say, technologically speaking, Parachains are ready, and it's up to the governance of Polkadot to.
Technologically speaking, Polkadot Parachains are ready. So it looks like we're on track for the October Polkadot Parachain rollout. And that's what we're going to talk about when we talk about the portfolio, because you've got to get ready for that Polkadot Parachain rollout. Okay, so that's all the good news. Is there any other good news, or should we start talking about the bad news? Or should we just not talk about the bad news at all? No, I think we've got to talk about it. It's got to be like, we've got to be like unbiased and shit. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so two little bits of bad news. One is, I don't know if you guys heard Gary Gensler last night. Guy has fucking lost his marbles. That's all I can say. He is such a disappointment. We were counting on him to be good for crypto. Instead, what do we get?
We've got a lot of casinos here in the Wild West, and the poker chip is these stable coins, at the casino gaming tables. And so I think there's just a lot of kind of warning signs and flashing lights that we might have a spill in L3, and I'd rather get ahead of it.
Okay, so that's Gary Gensler saying that stablecoins are the chips at a poker table, comparing crypto to gambling, talking about the chips at the poker table being USDT stablecoins. So I did some digging again, because that's what I do. I dig. I don't just accept anything on face value. But what I realized was that the reason why Gary Gensler is going after stablecoins, remember, he's going after stablecoins, and he's saying that stablecoins may actually be securities. And you know what? I hate to say it. I think he may be right. And the reason why he's right is because any token or note or something that represents the value of something else, which may fluctuate and you may make a profit on it, may be deemed a security. True. So if you think that you've got a certificate that represents value in a house, and the house price can go up and down, then that certificate is actually a security. Now, USDT is not actually dollar-backed. It is backed by bonds, by stocks, by a whole lot of other assets. And theoretically, the value of USDT can fluctuate. Like if we heard that Tether wasn't 100% backed by assets, the value of the token would fluctuate. And therefore, he's probably right. And what he wants to do is he wants to regulate stablecoins as securities. Why would they want to regulate stablecoins as securities? Well, one, I think it may actually be good. It would regulate the market to make sure that stablecoins are 100% backed by the assets that they deem, and it would create reporting requirements for the stablecoins, which we so badly need. So Tether would have to actually submit a report that shows quarterly reports that show what they're backed by. That's the good part. On the other hand, it could be that Gary Gensler is actually trying to protect the old system. He's trying to protect the banks. He's trying to protect the banks so that they can issue a CBDC and that they won't be disrupted by US dollar stablecoin. Because if you think about it, US dollar stablecoin is the biggest threat to the banking system today. Because if everybody starts to make payments in USD stablecoins, what the hell do we need a bank for? Store your USDT stablecoins on a MetaMask, make all your payments in USDT or USDC, you don't need a bank. And that is disrupting the banks. So that's the other side of it. Gary Gensler is also coming in hot. He's really coming in hot, threatening to regulate everything. But, Raoul Paul, our friend, says that he thinks that Gensler's laying down the hardest case for regulation in digital assets, but he will because he knows he's going to have to negotiate his way. And so he's coming in like really, really, really hot, knowing that eventually he's going to be negotiated downwards. And that's a massive tactic. So that's some of the bad news. Good news, bad news. Look at it how you want. This I didn't really like, but I want to just talk to you before we talk about the portfolio and before we give away money. So this Ripple case, remember that Ripple is litigating against the SEC. And the SEC are saying that Ripple issued unregistered securities. And Ripple said, okay, that's cool. If it was securities that we issued, and since no employee of the SEC is allowed to trade securities, can you please show us all the trading records of all the employees of the SEC? Because if anybody in the SEC did trade XRP, then it would mean that even the employees of the SEC didn't know it was a security, which means that the SEC didn't tell them that XRP was a security, which means that XRP couldn't have been a security. And what happened was the judge denied the request. Now, important to note that Ripple didn't want the name and the phone number and the email and how many XRP the guy traded. All they wanted, they said, had any employee of the SEC actually traded XRP during a certain period. That's all they wanted. And the judge denied it, unfortunately. So a little bit of a negative for XRP and Ripple. I'm not the biggest XRP fan, but I do hope that Ripple win this. The Ripple team argues that including individual trading decisions of SEC employees in discovery will at a minimum expose the lack of clarity regarding XRP status and whether the SEC believed XRP to be a security. That is what this whole thing is about. Okay, so that's the other bit of the bad news. Is there any other bad news? No, no other bad news. The Fed meeting, yeah, I don't think, let's wait for the bad news. Fred, do we have the meetups? Okay, let's look at the meetups. Let's look at the meetups. Hold on, I want to get this. Okay, so look at this, study it. If you have a bar or a restaurant, there is a list of the bars and restaurants that are going to be hosting Banter Friday. You can arrive at 9 a.m. EST, and these guys are all hosting meetups. I'm going to post this on my Twitter, and we're going to keep increasing the list. There's a good one in Durban in South Africa called Kalamata. That's a very, very good one. They have very good Greek food, and I mean, the owners are maniacs, so that's very good. There's Hat-Tricks in Louisville, Texas, which will also be fantastic. I saw one in India. There's one in India somewhere. In Hyderabad, yeah. It's called Restaurant. No, that's not good enough. It must be called something. We must put the real name. Okay, so we will publish this on my Twitter, and if you want to host a meetup, let us know, and we will just send people to your pub because we want to support small business, especially those that support our show. We will support you by just sending a whole community of like 500,000 people into your thing. Okay, now let's get into the. I know why you guys all tuned in. You tuned in for two things. One, you tuned in because you want wife-changing money, and two is you tuned in because you want wife-changing money. You want me to give you wife-changing money, and you want me to show you how to make wife-changing money, right? That's why you tuned in. So first, I'm going to give you wife-changing money. Let's give away wife-changing money. Yeah, let's give away. Just let's go crazy. Just give away. If you don't have a ByBit account with our referral link below, you can't get the prize, the ByBit prizes. Ricardo Duarte, Banter goes brrrr. You get $1,000 worth of BitDAO tokens if you have a ByBit account with our referral link. Now remember. I'm going to show you a way to make free money. Okay? Listen to me very carefully because you can make free money. Free fucking money. I don't know how many people in the world are ever going to make it so easy for you to get free money. Open a ByBit account with our referral link. Put money into ByBit. You don't have to trade. Just put money into ByBit. That's it. Just put money. They are taking snapshots of the balances today until the 26th. Then they will just airdrop you BitDAO tokens for free based on the balance that you've got on the exchange. That's it. So simple. You don't have to trade. You don't just open an account. That's it. Put money into the account. After the 26th, take your money out. That's all you need to do. Just do it. We'll carry on giving away money in a second. I want you guys to learn how to make money, and we are running out of time. So, told you guys that I give you guys a portfolio. And important for me when I was giving you the portfolio is to give you guys tokens that I think aren't overvalued. So that was the first part of the portfolio that I wanted to make sure. I don't want to give you the old tokens, the Lunas that have gone up from 35 cents to $35, and Arweave, which has gone from, I don't know, under $1. I don't want to give you those ones. I want to give you new ecosystems that you guys should invest in. That's what I want to give you guys. The other thing is it had to be a diversified portfolio. So it had to be layer 1 and layer 2, NFTs, gaming, DeFi. It had to be Ethereum scaling solutions. It had to be new ecosystems as well as old ecosystems. And it had to have not run yet. So today, I want to show you a portfolio. And I want to show you how to invest in the portfolio. I think it's going to be a great portfolio. I think you're going to be surprised. I think you're going to like it. And you can tell me in the comments, and you can tell me on Twitter what you think of the portfolio. So let's actually go right now to the portfolio. We've called this portfolio the Q4 Degen Portfolio. And what I'm saying now is that you can deposit 15%. If you don't have a portfolio, you can start to dollar cost average into this portfolio. Starting today, you can put 15% of your total into this portfolio. Do not buy this portfolio today because we don't know if the market's going to continue to go down. Put 15% of your capital in today and then wait for me to tell you when to keep investing in this portfolio. Do not invest more than 15%. That's called dollar cost averaging. And it's dollar cost averaging not like Fred's friends, because Fred's friends dollar cost averaged over 4 days. He took his whole money and he dollar cost averaged over 4 days.
He's watching you right now.
What's his name?
Not saying.
Okay, don't do it. You know who I'm talking about. Dollar cost averaging happens over weeks, months, and years. It doesn't happen over 4 days. That's not dollar cost averaging. That's called FOMO trading into something. So let's look at the logic behind the portfolio. I've even given you the percentages in your portfolio. I mean, who does that? You take 15%. You only deploy, if you've got $1,000 today, you deploy $150. Oh, the other thing, which I thought about, because I love you guys, I thought, let me give you trades that don't have gas fees, because gas fees are destroying us as a nation. They are destroying us. So I'm giving you tokens that don't have gas fees. Okay, listen. Oh, who's phoning me now? Is he crazy? I don't know why people phone me during the show. It's like they don't know that I'm doing a show. Okay, so let's look back at the portfolio. 15% of your portfolio goes into Bitcoin. 15% of your portfolio goes into Bitcoin, and you start dollar cost averaging today. Don't wait. Start today. 7% of your portfolio goes to Polkadot. You'll see there's no Ethereum here, because I think that Ethereum has had its day, and I think you can get better returns in other layer ones. So 7% goes into Polkadot because we just heard that Parachains are coming in October. When Parachains come in October, people are going to want Polkadot to loan to the crowd loan auctions. Then we're going to spread our money over other layer ones, more aggressive into the ones that we think are going to grow quicker and are less risky. So 7% into Solana, 7% into Cardano, 4% into the smaller layer ones, AVAX, Phantom, 7% into Arweave because we still think it's undervalued, 4% into Rune, and then 5% into FTX because we think that FTX is the best exchange play that you can have right now. It's replaced BNB. So that is the safe part of your portfolio. That's like the safe part of your portfolio. The degen part of your portfolio starts after FTT. And we put 3% into NAMI, but you wait because NAMI has had a massive run from 6 cents to 12 cents. I told you at 6 cents to buy it. I told you at 3 cents to buy it. 12 cents, I'm saying just chill. Then we move on to the Solana ecosystem and we buy 4% of our portfolio into Radium, 4% into Saber, 3% into Sunny Markets, 3% into the wallet called Coin98, 3% into Mango Markets. Then we take 2 or 3% of our money and we put it into a bridge, a cross-chain bridge protocol that connects all the blockchains. And that bridge for me is probably AnySwap. Then we move into more risky ecosystems. So you go into Boo. Boo is the DEX exchange for Phantom, 2% in, and then we start investing into Cardano. And you invest into Charlie 3, you invest into Giro. You put 2 or 3% of your money into a Cardano DEX which hasn't launched yet. So they haven't launched yet. When they do launch, you got to have exposure to a Cardano DEX. Have to have exposure to a Cardano DEX. You also have to have some exposure into NFTs. And for me, speculative, but with good upside, could be AGLD, which is the currency that is used in the Loot NFT protocol. Then you put 2% into another NFT project, which I haven't quite worked out yet. I haven't found a really investable, good, aggressive growth NFT project. I will let you know that in a couple of days. You put 2% into Trader Joe, 2% into Yaks, and 2% into BenQ, and that gives you exposure into the high growth Avalanche ecosystem. Now, to be very, 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 very clear, you are only deploying 15% of your capital today. This portfolio is aggressive. The risk profile is aggressive. This is not a portfolio for your mother or for your grandmother. This is a portfolio for a degen. It is a high aggressive risk portfolio. And if you start buying this, don't phone me for 12 months. Come back to me in 12 months and review it. If there are dips along the way, these tokens are going to get smashed. But I think in 12 months, if the whole ecosystem and the whole tide goes up, these tokens will completely overperform the market. Completely overperform the market. So that is the portfolio. Let me know what you think of the portfolio. I'm going to put it up for you again, and let's go again through it very quickly. 15% Bitcoin, no Ethereum, because Ethereum is too slow and the gas fees are too expensive. We degen into layer ones, 7% Polkadot, 7% Solana, 7% Cardano, 4% AVAX, 4% Phantom, 7% Arweave, 4% Rune, 5% FTT, because we need a trading platform. Then we degen. Oh, I know what the NFT project can be. Render. Render is the NFT project. Then we go into Nami, which is a Ethereum scaling solution, which is very, 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 very smart and very good, and hasn't even started running yet. Radium, Saber, Sunny Markets, Coin98, and Mango are the Solana ecosystem plays. AnySwap is the bridge between protocols. And then Boo, Cardano, C3, Giro, DEX of Cardano that hasn't launched, AGLD and Render are NFT plays, and then 3 plays from the Avalanche ecosystem. And then you got yourself a nice high risk, high return portfolio for degens, and we'll keep monitoring that for you. Don't put more than 15% of your money into that portfolio today, because we're going to dollar cost average over a couple of weeks or maybe even a couple of months. If you are going to play this portfolio, then from now on you will be called the Q4 Degens, and you are the Q4 Degens. And you must pray together. You must pray together when the prayers happen. You pray together. Okay. Lastly, we did say that if we find amazing show sponsors, we will introduce them to you. And we found an amazing show sponsor. Remember, we only will accept show sponsors that can add value to our community with cool shit. Unfortunately, today I have to decline a certain sponsor because they don't add value to the community. But the sponsor that I want to introduce you to is called Unstoppable Domains. And essentially, what Unstoppable Domains is they are a, what's the way to word it? They are like they do .com, .crypto, .coin, .wallet domains, which effectively allow you to own your domain as an NFT. So gone are the days of buying domains and paying every month or every year to keep renewing the domain. Now you buy the domain and you get an NFT. So you go to Unstoppable Domains and you enter, like if I want to do Fred. I bet you if I do this, it's taken, but let's do Fred.crypto. Okay, and you do a search. Let's quickly do a search of Fred.crypto. Okay, so Fred.crypto is protected, which means Fred, you can't have it, but you can have Fred Royd, you can have Fred Gen. I like Fred Gen. Like Fred Gen is like Degen, basically. I like that. Fred the Degen. Okay, so you go there, and then you can secure .coin, .wallet, .bitcoin, .nft, .dao. So what I recommend to you guys is go and secure your name and your mother's name and your sister's name and your dog's name, because you never know if you're going to want to use them. Now, there's a big difference between unstoppable domains and normal domains. The difference is that with unstoppable domains, you pay once and you get the NFT of your domain, which is like amazing, amazing, amazing. The second thing is that unstoppable domains, I want to show you this, actually integrate very well into wallets, crypto wallets. So you can store your domain in a whole lot of different browsers and a whole lot of different wallets, like Coinbase wallet, Bitcoin.com wallet, Chainlink wallet, blockchain wallet. You can store your domains in those wallets. So you'll now own the domain inside your wallet. Very, very, very cool. Okay, this is the part that really makes me excited. So you know Trust Wallet. You know the Trust Wallet, which I think is the Binance-owned wallet. Freddie, do you know the Trust Wallet?
Yes.
It's the Binance wallet.
Correct.
So they have now done a deal with Trust Wallet. And Trust Wallet is the first wallet to fully support all of the unstoppable domains, top 10 level domain endings, which is .crypto, .nft, .eth, etc. The cool thing about this is that from now on, if you want to send money to say cryptomanrun.crypto, then instead of putting in my keys or my public address, all you say is send money to cryptomanrun.crypto. And then you'll be able to just send money to me by not entering my address, but just entering my ETH domain or my .crypto domain. How fucking cool is that? And that is announced, that is supposed to be announced, oh shit. Okay, well, that was supposed to be announced tomorrow. I may have just leaked the Trust Wallet and unstoppable domains news, because it was only supposed to be announced tomorrow, but we announced it today. Oh shit. Okay, well, it is what it is. We announced it. You heard it here first. Tomorrow you'll hear it on BitBoy Show. It's all good. So Unstoppable Domains is now a show sponsor of ours. I told you guys that I would allow some show sponsors if I think they can add value. And I think that this really adds value. So Banter community, number one, go and buy whatever names you like. Number two, go and buy us some domains and then just send them to us. Just be friends and just send us like cryptobanter.this, producer Fred.that. Send it to us. Sheldon, just send them. Sheldon Sniper, that kind of thing. You got to have it. And the reason why you got to have it is because that becomes where people will send you money. Like cryptomanrun.crypto. If you want to send me money, then send it to cryptomanrun.crypto. And then don't put in my public address. You don't have to look for it. So it's absolutely unbelievable. Super excited to have Unstoppable Domains as our sponsor. Super excited to get the Banter fam on board to get their Unstoppable Domains. And I think you'll agree with me that Unstoppable Domains is a sponsor that we should allow on the show, and that, you know, we really care about our ethics. We don't want to be sponsored by anyone who doesn't meet our standards. And some people just want to sponsor us so we can talk about their tokens. We don't do that. And you see, this guy's right. He says we as Banter are unfucking stoppable. And I only have 1 minute left, so I'm not going to do any giveaways today, but we will do double the giveaways tomorrow on Sheldon's show and double the giveaways on my show. So I love you guys like crazy. Send me some cool domain names, NFTs. I will pay you for them. I just didn't have time to register all the domain names. See you guys again tomorrow. Until then, I hope you had fun. I had a great time doing the show. See you tomorrow. Trade well, my friends. Okay, so you better go and register all your domains, because this community is going to front run you into your own domains, and you're not going to have all the domains that you want. That's the problem, because this community, that's the problem.
We're going to have so many. Who was the guy who tried to sell us one last time?
Yeah, we were negotiating with the hostage.
Negotiator, the hostage.
The hostage negotiator.